left to be done, but,
Has it been filed? Let me take a look.
well,
No, Your Honor, I just received it signed this morning to my email, so I did not have a chance to print it off this morning before I got here to sign it, but I will be signing it this afternoon, and I will forward it over to probation once I sign it.
Should I set a control date to make sure it ends up in the file, or? Okay.
yes, Judge, if you choose to do that's fine, I understand.
Well, how about this? Let's set it for June 9th.
Yes.
If the agreement is in the file,
Yes.
then one of the attorneys needs to notify the clerk to take it off the docket.
Thank you, Your Honor, I'll be here
Sure.
that day.
Okay.
In any event, so there's certainly nothing wrong with doing that. I think it's wise as well.
So, yes, but obviously, if that agreement's in the file, then we don't need to have a hearing on June 9th.
Your Honor, I have other matters that I'm co-counsel with my partner, Tim Shaw.
Okay.
Perhaps if we could call them at this time.
Yes, let me
That would be
find
efficient.
those. Oh, is Mr. Shaw?
He's present.
Oh, okay.
I'm carrying his briefcase today, Your Honor.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Tim Shaw, first case that I have on the docket is Jaden Keith Barkley. These were BOP cases.
Yes, I see three of them, 2020 CF 945, 2021 CF 148, and 21 CF 3288.
Judge, there's still one case that forms part of the basis for the violation that's open in Jackson County. I'm told it will be, that they have a hearing the first week of June, so if we can put these on for pretrial June 9th, that'd be probably what we need to do to get it resolved.
Okay.
And Mr. Flowers will be here for that date. I'm gonna be
Okay.
out there.
Well, since they're all VOPs, they would probably need to be put on the next.
And if you want to put it on next VOP day, or a different date than pretrial, that's fine, Judge.
Let me see what the state wants to do, because they may have a different view. I'm not sure. What's the state's
Your Honor,
position?
the state's not object to one last continuance before the state moves to set up for a hearing at this point. I know Mr. Shaw is just getting back and getting reacquainted, and I know this is a new case that's popped up, so, as far as the VOP goes. So I'm not gonna object to one last continuance to see if me and Mr. Shaw could get a negotiated plea rather than going forward with a hearing.
Okay. So I will reset the case for June 17th at 9. And the case needs to resolve itself, or we need to set an evidentiary hearing, or whatever the case may be. But I noted that the first allegation of violation of probation occurred in October of 2023. Then there were new allegations in June of 24 and September of 24. He had new law cases in Jackson County and Ocala.
Ocala's been dismissed.
Oh, good.
What I found,
Okay,
but Jackson's still up.
okay. So June 17th at 9 o'clock, and we need to either resolve it or set it for an evidentiary hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure, thank you.
Next case was on for status conference is James Clifton Crane, 25 CF 148. Mr. Sprouse and I have had some discussions with regard to Mr. Crane's case. I know he's fairly new on this one. So if we put it on for June 9th, I think that'll be smartest move.
No objection.
Okay, June 9th for pretrial.
And last, Judge, we have Lawrence Johnson, which is 24 CF 2517. I'd seen on the docket it was for change of plea. I'm not sure that was a miscommunication or something. We had not had this case resolved. The state made an offer this morning that I need to go through with Mr. Johnson more in depth than I could do out here this morning, because there's some significant issues that arise from that type of plea. So if we'll put it on for June 9th, that'd be fine. I want to make the court aware, though, I did see that it also said final continuance for that June 9th date, depending on what my situation is with, being out of town. I'll let the court know, obviously.
Okay,
If necessary, Your Honor, I will be here on June 9th.
okay. All right, so June 9th at 9 o'clock for pretrial conference. And sir, just stay in touch with your lawyers. I know you will.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Cobb?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge Jason Cobb on behalf of Malik Humphreys in
Okay.
2023 CF 2577, 24 CF 1138, 1139, 1141, and 1795. I filed a motion for a bond reduction on behalf of Mr. Humphreys. His current bond, when you add it all up, is $604,000, cash or professional. That's in effect a no bond. There's not many individuals could even have a chance of making a $604,000 bond. I know he's entitled to a reasonable bond, and like I said, it is an amount that basically qualifies as a no bond. Mr. Humphreys is asking if the court would reduce his bond to $100,000. He's lived here in the area for almost 5 years. He's single, he has one child, and he resides in Crestview. And those are the grounds basically for the motion. The bond is really, really high, and nobody can make that really, not even have a chance to make it.
What's the state's position?
Your Honor, the state strongly objects to a reduction in bond, looking at all of the charges and the cases that Mr. Humphreys currently has, including trafficking in fentanyl of 28 grams or more, which is considered a dangerous crime under the statute.
Thank you. So I reviewed the cases. It looks like the motion is essentially identical to a motion that was heard on October 22nd.
A motion filed by Mr. Gates?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge Ketchel heard that motion on October 22nd and denied it. And the $550,000 cash or professional bond in case 24 CF 1795. According to the clerk's minute sheet, it says that amount was stipulated to at the pretrial detention hearing.
That was before my time.
Right.
So,
And Your Honor, that would have been probably my office, and we don't typically stipulate the bonds in pretrial detention. Typically, just for the record, we typically will argue over bonds or stipulate to the court setting a bond. It's rare that we would stipulate to the bond amount.
Okay.
So, Mr. Gates, did you guys have a pretrial detention hearing or just?
Yes.
We did, the state was not seeking pretrial detention at the time.
Okay. And of course, it goes without saying that Mr. Humphreys would agree to any conditions the court deems necessary to assure his appearance at pretrial hearings, to protect the public. If the court deems he's a danger to the public, and that would be house arrest and/or electronic monitor, anything like that, just so he doesn't have to sit in jail. He's been in jail continuously for over a year with these bond amounts.
So another issue is 23 CF 2577, the date of the offense is November 15th, 2023. There was a first appearance on November 16th, 2023, and bond was set. Then, case 24 CF 1138 occurred on May 15th, 2024, while the defendant was out on bond.
Yes, ma'am.
There was a first appearance on May 17th, 2024. Bond was set on most charges, but the defendant had a failure to appear capious with no bond in the previous case, 23 CF 2577. It's alleged that he failed to appear on April 8th, 2024. Then 24 CF 1139 occurred. The date of the offense is alleged to be February 17th, 2024. Now that's prior to the 24 CF 1138 date of offense, but after 23 CF 2577. Defendant was out on bond when those offenses were alleged to have occurred. He was not arrested till May 15th, 2024. Bond was set on most charges, but he still had that failure to appear capious. Then there's 24 CF 1141. The date of that offense is alleged to be May 15th, 2024. It says same charge as 24 CF 1138. These are my notes.
Yes, ma'am.
So he had first appearance May 17th, 2024. Bond was set on most charges, but he still had that failure to appear capious in the 2023 case with a no bond. Then there's 24 CF 1795. The alleged date of that offense is May 2nd, 2024. So he's still out on bond on 23 CF 2577 when that offense is alleged to have occurred. He was not arrested until July 29th, 2024, while he was in jail. The delay was due to him not being identified until later, and the FDLE results not coming back until July. There was a pretrial detention hearing on August 1st, 2024. That's one we were just talking about. And Judge Ketchel, who was the presiding judge at that time, is the one who had that hearing and set the bond. Now, I understand what Mr. Gates said. The clerk's notes say it was stipulated, but the clerk's notes are not in order. So I'm familiar with Mr. Gates, and if he says that he doesn't typically stipulate to bonds, then the court accepts that. So Judge Ketchel did set that bond on August 1st, and he was the presiding judge. I'll also note that case 24 CF 1795, that's the trafficking and fentanyl charge, carries a 25-year mandatory minimum sentence, if I'm not mistaken, and also a $500,000 mandatory minimum fine.
Yes, ma'am. That's actually a plea offer from the state with that.
Okay.
He also has a hold from Camden County, Georgia. I don't know if you're getting ready to get to that or not, but he has a hold from Rice at Camden County, Georgia. He is wanting to be able to bond out and allow Camden to come pick him up and take care of that and then come back.
We have 5 open cases in this county dating back to 2023, and 4 of those are alleged to have occurred while the defendant was out on bond in case 23 CF 2577. Now, my notes do not indicate that I have revoked bond in 23 CF 2577, but I will certainly check. And if I haven't done so, I do intend to enter an order revoking bond because the defendant was out on bond when these new offenses are alleged to have occurred. There's probable cause, so that will result in a revocation of the bond in 23 CF 2577.
Yes, ma'am.
So also, in light of the fact that Judge Ketchel heard an identical motion, I mean, it's the same arguments were made, the same request was made, and that was on October 22nd, 2024, and he denied the motion. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Humphreys was there that day. Let me take a look. I would imagine he would be. It doesn't indicate that Mr. Humphreys was or was not there, although if he was an inmate, he would have been transported. But Judge Ketchel heard that motion. And that was a motion filed on September 17th, 2024. It was filed by Mr. Gates when Mr. Gates was still representing Mr. Humphreys. And he denied. He denied that motion. So for all of those reasons, at a minimum, the motion is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Did I cover all of the private attorneys? I think I did. Mr. Harper?
Judge, I can address my out of custody, but I have in custody that we're still working out the terms. So if I can pass on that. So no inmate at this time. No, I already talked to him. I just need to finalize some terms. Number 17, Judge Andrew Atkins,
Okay.
before the court on 23 CF 1748. He is present. Just for status, Judge, his misdemeanor case that formed the basis, part of the basis for his violation of probation, was resolved with a deferred prosecution agreement. He's substantially completed the terms and conditions of that deferred prosecution agreement. I believe the state might have an announcement. Atkins?
Your Honor, the state will be agreeing to reinstate Mr. Atkins to complete his original terms, given the fact he was given a DPA. Mr. Harper did show me proof of some cost that he had paid, but I'm not sure if they have hit the clerk's site just yet.
Okay, so is this going to be an agreement, or is this a dismissal of the affidavit, or how are you going to handle this?
Your Honor, the state will be dismissing the VOP to then reinstate him to complete the original terms.
And for some context, Judge, I think with respect to his probation that he's on currently, I believe he's completed most, if not all, of the non-monetary. He's just got financials left, but he's going to be working on that. But he will report to probation today.
Okay, and who do I have present from probation today?
This is JCS, Judge.
Last name, I'm sorry.
This is going to be JCS probation.
Oh, JCS. Do I have anyone from state probation here? Okay.
He's
Thank
from
you.
state probation, but JCS is.
Oh, so sorry. Okay, so the state is announcing a dismissal of the VOP?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, state has dismissed the allegations that you violated your probation, so you're restored to probation. And good luck to you. You need to report today.
The next couple, Judge Jordan Couch, I think we have an agreement. I just need to finalize the terms on that. The next couple, Charles Crane, number 19 on the docket. I believe that was continued by order to June the 19th.
Yes, 23 CF 2695. That's got an evaluation pending and the report has not come in. Do you know whether Mr. Crane has been evaluated yet?
He is not.
Okay.
I talked to Dr. Salinas and he has not been.
Okay.
And it's not due to Mr. Crane.
Okay.
It's due to scheduling on that end.
Okay, so I did already enter an order yesterday continuing it because we didn't have the evaluations. There was no point in having a hearing if we didn't have the report. So he is set for, I believe it's June 17th, but I don't have the order in front of me.
Okay.
It is June 19th at
June-
2:30.
June 19th at 2:30. Thank you.
And similarly, Judge Pamela Henson, the one that's next, 23 CF 818, is also continued for the same reason to June 19th.
Do you know whether that evaluation has occurred?
She has an evaluation, I think, the first week of June.
Okay, so it's scheduled. hopefully we'll have the report by June 19th.
The next one, 21, is Conderis Jackson, 23 CF 1887. Judge, we set this for status to see if we can work out a possible resolution. There's a waiver of appearance in Mr. Jackson's case. The state has conveyed a counteroffer to me. I think that we can probably come to terms because it's no longer a prison offer. If we can set this for miscellaneous in June, I think we can come to a resolution.
Okay, so I had some notes about trial of a co-defendant. Is that,
The co-defendant, I believe, pled out last cycle.
Yes, Your Honor, the
Okay.
co-defendant pled.
great. So the state has made another offer on Mr. Jackson's case, and you think it will be resolved?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I set him on pretrial?
No, and if I may approach for that reason?
Sure.
We're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Okay. We will set the case on miscellaneous, that's June 17th. We will treat that as a pretrial,
Thank you, Judge.
but it'll be
And-
on miscellaneous day.
And the last out of custody I have, actually, he's actually in custody, but this was also continued by order. Clint Jones, 24 CF 972 and 24 CF 973 to June the 19th for the same reason for an evaluation. He has not yet been evaluated by the judge, by the doctor.
Okay. So June 19th, yes, I already entered an order continuing it to whatever day is on the order, I guess June 19th.
Thank you, Judge. I'm passing Jordan Couch. We'll get that resolved this morning. I just need to finalize the terms.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And Mr. Gates.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're here on Ms. Tidwell.
I am. It's case number 2021 CF 2675 and 2022 CF 1536. We have set for this morning a motion for early termination and probation. If I could summarize the motion.
Yes, I have it here.
You are on February 13th, 2023. Ms. Tidwell was placed on probation in the two reference cases for a term of 36 months. She has completed over 2/3 of that sentence. She's actually completed 28 months, so there's 8 months remaining. I have Mr. Profit, her probation officer, to testify, if I may call him.
Sure. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. Just have a seat.
Good morning, Mr. Profit. Would you state your name, please, for the court?
Bronte Profit.
And how are you employed?
I work for the Department of Corrections.
And what do you do for the Department of Corrections?
I am a felony probation officer.
And during the course of your employment with the Department of Corrections, have you had the opportunity to supervise Kayla Tidwell, who's present in court today?
I have.
Okay? And you had communicated with my office after we contacted you regarding our motion, and I believe that you've stated that Ms. Tidwell has completed all of the conditions of her supervision.
That's correct.
And with the exception of a violation that occurred or an arrest that occurred in Escambia County on October 16th, which was later dismissed, she has been a model citizen during the period of her supervision to date. Is that a fair statement?
That's fair, yes.
And that's what you told me, right?
Correct.
Now, one of the things that the probation office has to do is contact, if they can, alleged victims in the case to see what their position is. Were you able to do that?
I was not.
Was that because there's no up-to-date contact information for the alleged victim?
That's correct.
Okay. Those are my questions of him, Your Honor.
All right, State?
Do you know what happened in Escambia County?
Yes, the subject was arrested for criminal mischief.
Okay, do you know any of the facts and circumstances?
Vaguely, it was an incident that occurred where there was a little bit of road rage associated with the arrest, as well as a possible trash being thrown in another vehicle. And the subject was later arrested and charged with criminal mischief.
Based on that, do you think that the defendant should be early terminated from probation?
From what I understand is the case was dismissed. And so based off of those parameters, the department's stance is that we don't have any objections. She's completed the conditions of her original probation. However, the department can't officially have a position on her early term because the victim has not been contacted.
Do you know why the case was dismissed?
I do not.
Okay. Do you know of any traffic tickets that the defendant has received while she's on probation?
None come to reference outside of an earlier conversation that I had and was made aware of today.
Okay. I have no further questions.
All right, thank you. Any
No follow-up, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prophet. May he be excused?
Yes, absolutely.
Your Honor, we'd ask that the court grant the motion to early terminate the probation. As I earlier stated, she's completed over 2/3, only has 8 months left. She's employed full-time, self-employed. She completed all the outstanding requirements, as Officer Prophet stated, and we'd ask the court grant the motion.
Okay, any last words from the state?
State has evidence they would like to present.
Oh, so sorry. Go ahead.
May I approach?
Let me make sure Mr. Gates has a chance to look at that.
This can be counted. No objection to that at all.
Okay, sure, go ahead. Thank you.
That's all the evidence that the state has of, if I may make argument.
Okay, I've been handed a victim input form in case 24MM5209. This is the Escambia County case?
That is correct.
Okay, and it appears to be signed by Chanika Randolph and dated November 15th, 2024. So just so the record's clear what I'm looking at. Okay, go ahead.
So as the probation officer stated, that there was some sort of road rage incident that happened in Escambia County where the defendant was ultimately arrested and charged for criminal mischief. Subsequently, there was a drop charge form by the victim in that case. And what that says, it references the situation, says that they talked it out. What it doesn't say is that it never happened. So it's clear that the events that are alleged in the violation report occurred, and for that reason, the state doesn't feel that it's appropriate for this probationer to early term. The state allows people to early term when they are essentially a perfect probationer. Obviously, every circumstance and case is different, but in this case, if the court would take judicial notice of her driving history, the Okaloosa County Clerk of Court, just many tickets while she's on probation. So that's generally not a reason to violate, that's not a reason to violate anybody, but it just shows that this person still needs supervision so she can follow the rules.
Your Honor, what Mr. Sprouse has just told the court is, number one, that the case that resulted in a violation of probation being filed in Okaloosa County was dismissed. The substantive case was dismissed in Escambia County. That resulted in the dismissal of the VOP here. And certainly the state could have gone forward on a VOP even if the case had been dismissed, which it was in Escambia County. I'm not sure there was any evidence today about tickets, speeding tickets, and I don't think the court should consider that comment from Mr. Sprouse. But what she's done is completed over two-thirds and 4 months of her probation term, and I'd ask the court grant the motion.
Ordinarily, I am a stickler for people being in full compliance with probation and not having any violations or any issues. And ordinarily, I would, if somebody's had a violation, I would deny the motion.
Understood.
In this situation, there's allegations there was a violation, and it's undisputed that the allegations were dismissed, that the underlying basis for the violation was that Escambia County case that I read out the case number a minute ago, and that was dismissed. And in light of that, I'm not going to treat it as a violation because it was dismissed. And the state did not pursue a violation of probation proceeding on that. So I am going to grant the motion for early termination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Does the
Sure.
court want me to prepare an order, or is the record sufficient?
I have a fill-in-the-blank order that I've started, and I'll file that, and I believe probation will probably send me, Mr. Prophet is nodding, probation will probably send me an order as well.
Thank you.
I want to say
Sure.
thank you too.
Sorry?
Thank you.
Oh, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other private counsel? And I don't see Mr. Harper. I believe he's working on an agreement. Do I have Decorius Boone present?
Your Honor, his violation of probation was due to owing the court money. He has since paid in full, and the department is going to pull back that violation.
Okay, so this is case 22 CF 2539,
That's correct.
and what's the state's position?
Your Honor, that's fine with the state. If they can't pull back the violation, I'm happy to dismiss it if you're confirming he has paid everything.
Okay, so is the state dismissing the affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I don't see Mr. Boone, is Mr. Boone present? I don't believe, okay. All right, so state is dismissing the VOP. So he is still on probation. I didn't check to see when he terminates.
He's past term.
Okay, so he's done.
He's done.
All right. State dismissed the violation of probation, and his probation is terminated. All right, thank you. And Kayla Caperton? Do I have Kayla Caperton or Caperton present, 23 CF 91?
So for this one, we did send notice for today's court date, but the ROR bond that was posted was May 29th at 1:30.
Okay, I'm not sure why it's on.
Well, that wouldn't have came from the clerk's office. That was what she was given from the jail.
Okay. Well, I don't even know, I don't think May 29th is even a court date. What I will do is reset Ms. Caperton for June 17th. At 9 o'clock. And will the clerk send notice to her? Okay, thank you. Is Mr. Harper back and ready to proceed? I don't see Mr. Harper back. I don't see Mr. Medina either.
Mr. Medina's right here, Your Honor.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, you were not in your normal spot, so I didn't see you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready for Mr. Chapman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, Steve Medina for Mr. John Leslie Chapman.
Yes, we have multiple cases, 25 CF 284, and there's a 2023 case as well.
Yes, Your Honor, 23 CF 917.
Yes, and also there's a 23 TR 4923. I know the PD's office is not representing.
That's correct, Your Honor. That's just a traffic charge that's been rolling along with the 23 CF case.
Okay. And is that Mr. Chapman on Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor, that appears to be Mr. Chapman present at Okaloosa County Jail on the Zoom.
Good morning, Mr. Chapman. I'm Judge Clark. Your attorney is here, and we're going to have a hearing on the evaluation that I believe it's Dr. McDonald. Yes, Dr. McDonald just finished. So I read the report. Do the attorneys stipulate for me to rely on the report, or do we need live testimony?
Defense counsel stipulates.
State stipulates.
Okay.
In Your Honor, I would further just ask to inquire, if I may, does the state stipulate to current finding of incompetency as well as to the use of Dr. McDonald's report?
Yes.
And so does defense counsel.
All right. So I did review the report. I have it printed out here, and I read it last night. I also received the proposed order. Thank you. That speeds things along.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does the state have any objection to the proposed order?
No objection.
Okay. I do find that Mr. Chapman, based on my review of the report, is incompetent to proceed, and that he meets criteria for inpatient competency restoration. And the findings are spelled out in the order. I'm going to go ahead and sign the order. I had it printed out just in case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. And we probably need to set a control date.
Yes, Your Honor. Hopefully it won't be very long, but does the court want to leave them on June 9 or 11?
We could do that, make sure that he's picked up and transported.
Yes, Judge.
So,
Or we could choose a more miscellaneous date, because that pretrial is a super heavy date.
right. And the purpose of the hearing would be simply to make sure that he's been transported
Yes, Judge.
and not sitting still in jail.
Thank you.
Sure. I don't mind putting Mr. Chapman on the pretrial date, because if he is not in the jail anymore, then there won't be much of a hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, it could be canceled. So June 11th, just for a status to make sure he was transported.
Thank you, Your Honor. And
If he's not in jail anymore, then that could be canceled.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll advise the court before June 11 that he hopefully got picked up.
Okay, and then I'd like to set a status in 6 months.
Yes, Judge.
So that would be November 18th.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And of course, if the hospital notifies us that he's restored prior to then of course we'd move up the hearing. But this is just to check the status and see how he's coming along. So November 18th at 9 o'clock for status of restoration.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. Okay, I've signed the order and I'm handing it to the clerk. Thank you, Mr. Chapman. The hospital will come to get you soon, okay?
Which hospital will be coming to get me? You know, I try to take care of myself, and
Yes.
I'm getting 10 medications, and I got an aneurysm that can kill me in 35 seconds.
Yes, sir. So,
I was with Bridgeway for 5 years.
yes,
you know,
sir.
And I'm completely competent. I don't know what's going on. Y'all have completely buffaloed me. The police knocked me down on the ground and wanting me back in 23. And I don't know what's really going on, but this is ridiculous.
Well, the Florida State Hospital is going to come and get you and get your medication straightened out, and then you'll be back in front of a judge soon.
My medication is straight. I don't
Okay.
have it here, but I take my medication. I'm trying to stay alive, not die.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody at the jail.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, court security. I don't think Mr. Harper is back for Mr. Couch yet. Would you like me to go ahead and start on the,
Yes, ma'am. We do have James below, but no attorney.
okay, let's bring him out.
He's probably going to get assigned to me if he has a PE, so that's convenient.
All right, that is case 24 CF 2807, James Ballot. And I've noted that Mr. Ballot has a new law case, 25 CF 867, and Mr. Medina, you've been appointed to that
Okay,
case.
thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I speak for
morning.
Mr. Ballot as a friend of the court momentarily? James T. Ballot's before the court.
Yes.
Is this on a violation of probation, Your Honor?
It is.
And then he has picked up a new law charge as well? Is that-
Correct, 25 CF 867.
Your Honor, I would ask that the public defender be appointed in the VOP case, and that he enter a denial, and I will come see him as soon as possible. And I'm not sure what court date he's on for the new law, but they could run together.
Okay. So I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender on the violation of probation case, which is 24 CF 2807. And we'll see when everything is set.
He was, I think maybe there's a June 12th arraignment, but that's based on Mr. Ballot's memory.
June 12th is the arraignment in the new law case 25 CF 867.
Your Honor, I'm giving him a next court date piece of paper with that date, and could we have the VOP riding along with that, or does it need a different court date, Your Honor?
We can, well, that would just be an arraignment in his new law.
Right.
I have no problem setting the VOP that same day.
I think it'd be convenient, because
Okay.
the state may make a global offer at that time, and we may be able to work things out on arraignment on both cases.
Okay, then we will set the VOP, I'll have to set it on the 2:30 docket, but when Mr. Ballot comes out for his arraignment on the new law, we'll handle both at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure, so I'll set 24 CF 2807 on the miscellaneous 2:30 docket on June 12th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. All right, Ms. Farkas.
Your Honor, I think it might be convenient, because Ms. Farkas is working on a couple. I don't know if it's possible to bring Mr. Gates' clients out next.
Sure. Mr. Gates, are you ready?
It's been foisted on me, Your Honor. I guess I'll go ahead and take my cases.
Okay.
I have one out of custody, Lawrence Hagler.
All right, that is 24 CF 2522.
Yes, Your Honor, we had left Mr. Hagler as a status. We have a plea agreement to be filed in his case. It'll be to a misdemeanor plea, Your Honor. Okaloosa Court TV.
Okay.
If I may approach.
Yes. Thank you. All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Could you please state your name?
Lawrence Hager.
Are you Lawrence Hagler Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. In case 24 CF 2522, you're charged with 1 count of resisting an officer with violence. That's a 3rd-degree felony. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about that allegation and any possible defenses you might have?
Yes.
Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the plea agreement?
Yes.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
Yes.
Is that your signature on the last page?
Yes.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter a plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, or any substance in the last 24 hours?
No.
Is there any DNA?
No, Your Honor.
I do find a sufficient factual basis based on my review of the arrest report.
Okay.
Sir, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will likely subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Looks like you're pleading to a lesser included offense of resisting an officer without violence, which is a 1st-degree misdemeanor. How do you plead to that lesser included offense?
No contest.
I accept your plea. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. In accordance with your agreement, there will be an adjudication of guilt on that lesser included offense. Does anybody have a statute number for that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sure.
The statute's going to be 843.02.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you will be placed on probation for 11 months and 29 days. And to Mr. Prophet, this agreement says waive cost of supervision. Is probation okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So waiver of cost of supervision, that'll save you about $40 a month. $270 in court costs, thank you. $150 cost of defense. You must continue your mental health treatment. You must perform 50 hours of community service work at a minimum of 5 hours per month. You can do more than that, but you must complete at least 5 hours per month. Did I leave off any terms and conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And, sir, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you cannot afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one for you. You need to see probation before you leave the courtroom, and then you need to leave the courthouse and go report today, okay? And Mr. Prophet, sitting there on the front row, is here with probation, so see him on your way out of the courtroom, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, if we could just specify for the record that it's JCS probation? I don't know if we
Oh.
already did.
It's
so
not
sorry.
JC's probation, state probation.
State,
Okay,
We're
State.
saving some money.
okay.
state probation.
Haskins?
Your Honor, this is going to be Mr. D'Artagnan Haskins before the court in 23 CF.593, if I could have a second.
Sure.
Your Honor, we had left Mr. Haskins as a potential plea. I had provided, well, I'll start off with, this would be Ms. Basso, she's not here. I had left it as a status because the state, Ms. Basso, had wanted a copy of the report in hopes to try and work out a plea agreement. I've tried the last couple weeks to get an answer from her, but I know that she's been either in trial or preparing for trial. So it sounds like at this point I'll have to move him to June the 11th for pretrial conference. We are trying to work on depositions. One of the last officers is going to be Investigator Keel. The court's aware of some of the issues we've had with that. I don't know if that's going to be a June or July deposition, but I'm going to try to get that done, at least on the books as well.
Yes, that's what my notes reflect as well. And it looks like the case is already set for June 11th
Yes, Your Honor.
for pretrial. So we'll just leave the case set for June 11th, and hopefully you'll be able to set that deposition of Investigator Keel soon.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir, right, switch.
Next we're going to have is going to be Ms. April Jackson. She's before the court, 24-1404.
All right.
We have a plea agreement to be filed in her case, Your Honor. I forgot the state provided me these earlier, so let me get it now. Ms. Jackson entered a plea to misdemeanor, so there'll be no score sheet on this one. May I approach?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, ma'am, if you'll just raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. And if you'll state your name for me, please.
April Jackson.
Thank you. In case 24 CF 1404, you're alleged to have violated your probation. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature on the second page?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you or threatening you to make you admit the allegations?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any type of medication, substance? Have you had any drugs, alcohol, anything that would affect your ability to understand what's going on?
No, ma'am.
Do you wish to admit to the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission, and I find it was freely and voluntarily given. And in accordance with your agreement, it looks like there was a previous adjudication of guilt on the two underlying charges. Both of those appear to be possession of paraphernalia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation will be revoked and terminated, and you'll be sentenced to 60 days in the Okaloosa County Jail, concurrent on both counts, with credit for all time served. And there will be a $100 cost of prosecution fee, a $150 cost of defense fee. That includes the application fee. And you'll have 24 months from the date you get out of jail to pay those costs before they go to collections. That's in addition to any costs that were imposed initially. So did I cover all of the terms and conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And ma'am, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. Good luck. Thank you.
Matthew James, go next.
All right.
This is going to be Mr. Matthew James before the court on 23 CF 2636, 23 CF 2813, and 24 CF 334. It's set for a VOP arraignment. We do have a plea agreement to be filed to cover his cases, if I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
No objection to the score sheet.
All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And state your name for me, please.
Matthew Ryan James.
Thank you. In case 23 CF 2636. It's alleged that you violated your probation. Also in case 23 CF 2813, same allegations, you violated your probation. And also in 24 CF 334, again, same allegations that you violated your probation. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about all of the allegations you violated your probation in all three of those cases?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. Did you discuss the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature on page 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you have the right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement?
No, ma'am.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medication, or any substance in the last 24 hours?
No, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to speak with your lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Very much so, yes, Your Honor.
Are you admitting to the allegations that you violated your probation in all three of those cases I mentioned?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. And in accordance with the agreement, we mentioned the score sheet. There is a score sheet that shows 17.8 total sentence points. Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
All right. In accordance with the agreement, in all three cases, probation is revoked and terminated. And in all three cases, well, let me just take them one by one. All right, 23 CF 2636, revoke and terminate probation. As to count 1, that's the felony count. 120 days in the county jail with credit for all time served. That credit will include the time you spent in Escambia County from December 9th, 2024 to December 16th, 2024, and March 4th, 2025 through May 1st, 2025. As to count 2, the sentence is credit for time served. And in that particular case, the fines and court costs are $100 cost of prosecution, $150 cost of defense. That includes the application fee. In 23 CF 2813, revoke and terminate probation. And is it the sentence of 120 days on both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 120 days in the county jail. As to each count, they will run concurrently. All cases and all counts will run concurrently to each other. You will receive credit for all time served. Your credit will include the time you spent in Escambia County Jail on those dates that I mentioned in the previous case. The court costs and fees are $100 cost of prosecution fee and a $100 cost of defense fee. In 24 CF 334, revoke and terminate probation. There's only one count in that case. The sentence will be 120 days in the county jail, concurrent, all counts, all cases. Credit for all time served. That credit will include the same dates that you spent in the Escambia County Jail that I mentioned a minute ago. And the court costs and fees are $100 cost of prosecution, $100 cost of defense. And in all three cases, you will have 24 months from the date you get out to pay your outstanding court costs. And it says restitution on here. Is there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think their underlyings were theft, so there may have been restitution order at some point in those cases.
Okay. So whatever your outstanding financial obligations are, you'll have 24 months after you get out to pay them before they go to collections and a civil lien. And if it goes to a lien, that's going to affect your driver's license. So I encourage you to take care of those as soon as you can after you get out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did I leave out any terms or conditions?
None, Your Honor.
Okay. There's an adjudication of guilt on all of the underlying charges
Yes, Your Honor.
in all of the cases. And, sir, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you cannot afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next will be Darnell Jones.
Your Honor, this is going to be Mr. Darnell Jones before the court, 25 CF 641. Your Honor, he's scheduled as a bond hearing this morning after speaking with Mr. Jones and the state. Sounds like he's inclined to take the state's amended offer. If I can pass Mr. Jones, that'll give me time to review that
Sure.
with him.
Sure.
Next will be Joseph Kinsworth.
Yeah, this is Mr. Kinsworthy before the court in 22 CF 779 and 24 CF 1984. We brought him back as a sentence modification. I did file a motion as well as I have an order. I did also include a plea agreement that essentially modifies the original sentence in this case. If I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
I have both a copy of the order and the amended plea agreement.
Thank you.
I appreciate the state working with me on this one. We intended originally for Mr. Kinsworthy to get some treatment and help, banking on Santa Rosa also following suit. Unfortunately, Judge Strake over there decided not to and sentenced Mr. Kinsworthy to 18 months in prison instead of the treatment that we've been arguing and asking for. In light of that, the state decided that they would do an amended offer for Mr. Kinsworthy at 12.1 months DOC. That way, when he walks out of Department of Corrections, he doesn't have probation anymore. He can get the treatment on his own at that point.
Okay. So I would be modifying the order of modification of drug offender probation that was entered on October 23rd, or that as well as, I guess, the original order?
Yes, Your Honor, there should have been an order. I didn't think we did drug offender probation. I thought we did just normal probation. That would have been October 17th of 2024.
Yeah, I don't know why it says order of modification of drug offender probation, other than, well, actually, looks like Mr. Kinsworthy was originally placed on drug offender probation back in August of 2022. And so that's why the orders that followed, it looks like it's been modified a couple of times.
Yes, sir, and I think that would have been handled by Mr. Cotton, which is why I probably did not realize that.
So, sir, let me swear you in, if you'll just raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down and just tell me your name.
Joseph Daniel Kinsworthy.
Okay, thank you. In case 22 CF 779, you were originally charged and adjudicated guilty of the offense of felony battery, which is a third-degree felony. That was back in August of 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Then, in October of 2024, in case 24 CF 1984, You were also charged and adjudicated guilty of the offense of felony battery, again, a third-degree felony. And in both of those cases, you were placed on probation. There has been a motion to modify your sentence in both of those cases, as Mr. Gates laid out. Let me just make sure the state does not object.
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And I've been handed a modification plea and sentencing agreement. Sir, have you had a chance to discuss the modification of your sentence in both cases with Mr. Gates?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like, Mr. Gates, you need to sign.
I apologize.
No problem. Here you go. Thank you. All right, and sir, is this your signature at the top of the last page?
I believe it is, ma'am.
I can have somebody bring it closer. I know it's hard to see from there. Let me see it closer.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Sir, is it your wish for me to modify your current sentence in both of your cases as discussed in your agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
You understand that in both cases, your probation will be revoked and terminated, and you'll be sentenced to 12.1 months, Department of Corrections, State Prison, with credit for all time served. And it looks like that credit is going to include the time you spent in the Santa Rosa County Jail as well, and time you spent in Department of Corrections already on your Santa Rosa cases, and then everything will run concurrently.
Yes,
Did I get that right, Mr. Gates?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The 24 CF 1984 case. Okay, I was just checking the court costs and everything. All right, sir, so as to 22 CF 779, we're revoking and terminating probation. I'm sentencing you to 12.1 months Department of Corrections, concurrent with 24 CF 1984 and any other sentence you're currently serving. You'll get credit for all time served, including, and this is per the state's agreement, time spent in the Santa Rosa County Jail from October 21st, 2024 to January 28th, 2025, and time you spent in Department of Corrections from January 29th, 2025 until May 8th, 2025. There will be a $100 cost of supervision fee and a $150 cost of defense fee. That's in addition to any previously imposed court costs and financial obligations in that case. In 24 CF 1984, instead of the sentence that was imposed back in October of 2024, we're modifying that. That was the probationary sentence. Instead, you'll be sentenced to 12.1 months. Now, is this 12 months and 1 day, or 12 months and 1/10 of a month?
I think it's 1/10 of a month, Your Honor.
Okay, great, thank you. 12.1 months Department of Corrections, concurrent with 22 CF 779 and any other sentence you're currently serving in any other case, with credit for time served, including the credit that I just announced in the previous case that you spent in Santa Rosa County Jail and Department of Corrections. And in this particular case, there's $967 in court costs and a $100 cost of defense fee. Those were already imposed, I believe, in the sentence that was pronounced in October. And you will have 24 months from the date you get out of prison to pay all of your outstanding financial obligations before they go to collections. So I'd encourage you to do that, because if they go to collections, your license is going to get suspended.
I can take care of it, Your Honor.
Do I need a score sheet, or it looks like there was a score sheet
Yes, Your Honor,
filed?
there's a previous score sheet filed, given the modification, there's no need to refile that score sheet.
Okay.
Count 2 is a misdemeanor.
Ah,
We can just do time served on that, Your Honor.
okay, and this is in case 22779?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, they say as objection to time served.
State has no objection.
Okay, so as to count 2 in 22 CF 779, that will be a sentence of time served. That's on the misdemeanor count.
And then is this a non-proton sentence?
We would ask the court as, make it easier as a non-proton.
Make it nunc-pro-tunc?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm doing it nunc-pro-tunc, but I'm to win.
I think October 17th is what my clerk was asking.
But then I'm giving credit after that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It's not really making sense. If I'm giving credit, well,
That's up to you. I just want to make sure I have the JNS correct.
okay. Is the state okay with nunc-pro-tunc to? we've got
Yes,
a-
Your Honor.
Okay,
As long as it's within the bounds of the statute, because if the credit came afterwards and we're backdating it to the October, I'm not too sure if that,
yeah, I'm getting a little,
However the court would like to do it, I was trying to help Madam Clerk out as well.
I will just make it effective today because we're granting credit that has occurred
Yes, sir.
after that October date. In fact,
Yes, sir.
all of it looks like occurred after that October 2024 date. So
Yes, Your Honor.
in order to give the credit, I'm going to make it effective today. So,
And would the court have any objection to being transported back to DOC while they calculate the credit and all that in this case?
absolutely. I mean, I have no objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'll let DOC calculate all of the game time and everything on that. So, all right, any other things I need to cover on this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
contest to case numbers 25 CF 417, 25 CF 77, 24 CF 2860, 24 CF 2859, 24 CF 2161, 24 CF 2160, 24 CF 1885, 24 CF 1837, 24 CF 1829, 24 CF 1828, 24 CF 1690, 24 CF 1689, 24 CF 1688, and 23 CF 2687. He's withdrawing his previously entered plea and entering plea of no contest. In 23 CF 2687 and 25 CF 417, he'll be adjudicated guilty, given credit for time served to be run concurrent. He'll be assessed $615 in court costs, $150 cost of defense in 25 CF 417, and $100 cost of defense in all remaining counts and charges. He'll be adjudicated guilty. He'll be placed on 5 years of probation to run concurrent. He'll be assessed $515 in court costs in all remaining charges. He'll have no contact with the victim, Scott Berry. Restitution in 24 CF 1688 to Scott Berry in the amount of $3,255.06 with a minimum monthly payment of $75. He'll have no contact with the victim, Mariana McCain. Restitution in 24 CF 1690 to Marianne McCain in the amount of $1,806.27 with a minimum monthly payment of $50. No contact with the victim, Nicholas Kirby. Restitution in 24 CF 1828 to Nicholas Kirby in the amount of $784.55 with minimum monthly payments of $25. No contact with the victim, Daniel Bowers. Restitution in 24 CF 1829 to Daniel Bowers in the amount of $800 with minimum monthly payments of $25. No trespassing at Home 2 Suites, which is on 14060 Emerald Coast Parkway, Destin. Restitution in 24 CF 1837 to Home 2 Suites in the amount of $3,070.92 with minimum monthly payments of $75. No trespassing at Island Water Sports, 1318 Miracle Strip Parkway in Fort Walton Beach. No trespassing at any O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Restitution in 24 CF 2160 to O'Reilly's in the amount of $1,650.48 with minimum monthly payments of $50. No trespassing at the Ships Chandler, 646 Harbor Boulevard, Destin. Restitution to the Ships Chandler, $1,718.35 with minimum monthly payments of $50. No contact with the victim, Jessica Cease. Restitution in 24 CF 2859 to Jessica Cease in the amount of $694.10 with minimum monthly payments of $25. No contact with the victim, Andrea Barnes. Restitution in 24 CF 2860 to Andrea Barnes, $302.64 with minimum monthly payments of $25. No contact with the victim, Beth Parsons, and the top in 24 CF 1689, credit for all time served, and 24 CF 1885, count 2, which is a second-degree misdemeanor, credit for all time served.
This appears to be a downward departure.
Yes, Your Honor, it's a stipulated downward departure to negotiated, pursuant to a negotiated plea agreement.
That is correct, Your Honor, and if you do need an explanation, we can approach.
Okay. Let's do that, because it's a significant departure, so. Okay, Mr. Harper, I know you announced it, and I know it's in here somewhere. I'm trying to find the part of the handwritten terms and conditions that address case 25 CF 77, and I'm probably just overlooking it. Can you help me find it, or point me to where it is?
If I could see the.
Sure, yes. I know it's got to be in here somewhere, I just can't find it.
No, I'll reference the state sent me an email
Okay.
about that, and that might be quicker. That's at the very end, Judge.
Oh, thank you.
It's not, there is no restitution requirement with respect to that, but no contact with victims of arsonists. That's the very last provision on the bottom.
Okay, and then where? Is that sentence included in the all remaining charges, adjudication of guilt, 5 years probation concurrent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
he will be put on probation for that 5 years, but there's no restitution pursuant to that particular charge.
Okay,
But he has no contact with that particular victim.
thank you. Oh, okay.
For 24 CF 1689 is 548 because of the and that's simply cost of sale. If you like just to give you the information. Just looks like it's prepayment, which is
Is that in all?
No, ma'am, that is in
Okay.
2687.
Okay, so in case number 23 CF 2687, apparently there's an outstanding order revoking bond, and there's no proof of service of it. So,
If we could either withdraw that or serve it and then have it be made nullity in that he's pleading right now.
Okay.
Either of those options are okay. There's a unserved order revoking his bond in one of the cases. But he's been in custody for quite a period of time.
Yeah.
okay, so I will vacate that order, revoking bond in case 23 CF 2687. Mr. Couch, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. If you'll state your name, please.
Jordan Adam Couch.
Thank you. Mr. Couch, I'm going to read out the charges in all of your cases. I may need some help from the state to speed things along. In case 23 CF 2687, you're charged with 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and each of those counts is a 3rd-degree felony. In case 24 CF 1688, you're charged with 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000. That's a 3rd-degree felony. In case 24 CF 1689, you're charged with 1 count of Fleeing and eluding law enforcement with lights and sirens active, that's a third-degree felony. 1 count of driving while license suspended or revoked, second or subsequent conviction, that's a third-degree felony. And then 1 count of resisting arrest without violence, that's a first-degree misdemeanor. In case 24 CF 1690, you're charged with 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000, that's a third-degree felony. 1 count of passing a counterfeit instrument, that is a third-degree felony. And 1 count of fraudulent use or possession of an ID of another person without consent, that's a third-degree felony. In 24 CF 1828, you're charged with 1 count of burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, that's a third-degree felony. And 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000, also a third-degree felony. In case 24 CF 1829, you're charged with 1 count of burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, which is a third-degree felony, 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000, that's a third-degree felony. In 24 CF 1837, 1 count of fraudulent use or possession of an ID of another person without consent, that's a third-degree felony. And 1 count of defrauding an innkeeper, and that is a third-degree felony. In 24 CF 1885, 1 count of burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, that's a third-degree felony. And 1 count of petty theft, which is a second-degree misdemeanor. In 24 CF 2160, 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000, that's a third-degree felony. 1 count of passing a counterfeit bank bill, check, note, or draft, that's a third-degree felony. 1 count of fraudulent use or possession of an ID of another person without consent, that's a third-degree felony. In 24 CF 2161, you're charged with 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000. 1 count of passing a counterfeit bank bill, check, note, or draft, that's a third-degree felony. And 1 count of possession of a use or possession of an ID of another person without consent, that's a third-degree felony. In case 24 CF 2859, 1 count of fraudulent use or possession of an ID of another person without consent, that's a third-degree felony. 1 count of grand theft, $750 or more, but less than $5,000, that's a third-degree felony. And 1 count of forgery or altering a bank bill or promissory note, that's a third-degree felony. In 24 CF 2860, 1 count of fraudulent or illegal use of a credit card, that's a third-degree felony. And 1 count of fraudulent use or possession of an ID without the person's consent, that's a third-degree felony. In 25 CF 77, same charges as the previous case, fraudulent or illegal use of credit cards and fraudulent use or possession of an ID of another person without consent. Both of those are third-degree felonies. Then in 25 CF 417, which I don't think is on my docket, you are charged with 1 count of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, which is a third-degree felony. Did I miss any of the cases in reading out all those charges?
No, Your Honor, you did not. I do want to make one correction. In 24 CF 1689, the state only charged the fleeing and eluding and the driving while license suspended subsequent conviction. We did not charge the resisting arrest without violence.
Oh, thank you. I'll scratch that one off. And I'll note that in that case, 24 CF 1689, the court costs are $548 instead of $515. All right, sir, I've read out all of the charges and all of the cases. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about all of those charges and any possible defenses?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Have you read the plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Is that your signature on the next to the last page?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have the right to go to trial in all of these cases, on all of these charges, and that you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody forced you or threatened you to make you enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing in the agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, or any substance in the last 24 hours?
No, ma'am.
As was noted a few minutes ago, this is a significant downward departure based on the state's offer. It's a legitimate, uncoerced plea bargain. I do have a score sheet that shows 108.4 total sentence points. Any objections?
No, Your
Is there any DNA in any of the cases?
Honor. Not to my knowledge.
All right, I reviewed all of the cases, and I do find a sufficient factual basis based on the arrest reports. Sir, do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will likely subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to all of the counts that I listed with the exception of the resisting arrest without violence in 24 CF 1689, which the state didn't charge? How do you plead to all of the other counts and all the other cases that I listed out?
No contest, Your Honor.
I accept your plea as to all counts in all cases, and I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. There will be an adjudication of guilt on all of the counts in all of the cases. And then I'm going to repeat and pronounce the sentence in accordance with the plea agreement. In 23 CF 2687, and in 25 CF 417, you will be sentenced to time served, credit for time served on those charges in those two cases. All cases will run concurrently with each other. All counts will run concurrently. And let me make sure the costs are correct. In 25 CF 417, 615 court costs and cost of defense is $150. That will include the application fee of $50. And in 23 CF 2687, is that 515 court costs? 515 court costs, $100 cost of defense. Did I cover everything on those two cases, 23 CF 2687 and 25 CF 417?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I'm not leaving anything out since we have so many cases. Okay. In case 24 CF 1688, adjudication of guilt, and you're placed on probation for 5 years. $515 court cost, $100 cost of defense. You were to have no contact with The victim, Scott Berry. And you must pay restitution to Scott Berry, B-A-R-R-Y, in the amount of $3,255.06, with a minimum monthly payment of $75 per month. Has the state discussed this agreement with all of the victims?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Did I cover all of the terms, conditions, and costs in 24 CF 1688?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I cover everything on the Okay, great. Next is 24 CF 1689. And in that case, there will be an adjudication of guilt. And on count 1, 5 years probation, concurrent with all the other cases and counts. Count 2, that's the second-degree misdemeanor. That's time served, correct, Mr. Harper?
Excuse me.
So that count was not filed on, it just wasn't accurately reflected in our system, but I fixed that.
Oh, okay, the driving while license suspended?
Oh, no, count, the misdemeanor.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind, sorry, I was getting confused as well. So let me back up. 24 CF 1689 on counts 1 and 2, both are third-degree felonies. There will be a sentence of 5 years probation on each count, concurrent with all other cases and counts. And I'm looking to see if there is restitution or any other terms and conditions in that
No,
particular
I apologize. On 1689,
Uh-huh.
on the top of the second page, with respect to all of those, he's just actually
So
not
sorry.
getting probation, he's just getting time served.
Thank you. I retract what I said earlier about probation in 24 CF 1689. In that case, 24 CF 1689, on both counts, there's an adjudication of guilt, a sentence of credit for time served. And in that case, the court costs are $548 and cost of defense is $100. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Next is 24 CF 1690. In that case, Mr. Harper, you're going to have to help me find the part
It'll be 5 years of probation.
on all counts.
Yes, ma'am. And no contact with the victim, Mariana McCain.
Yes, I see that, and then there's restitution as well.
Yes, ma'am.
To Marianne McCain, $1,806.27, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, minimum monthly payment of $50 per month on that case, 24 CF 1690. So adjudication of guilt on all 3 counts, probation 5 years on all 3 counts concurrent, no contact with the victim, Ms. McCain, and restitution, as I just stated, with the minimum payment that I just stated. And $100 cost of defense. Did I leave anything out on 1689?
No, ma'am.
Did I cover everything? Okay, great. Oh,
I think
That was
the one you just
1690.
mentioned was 1690.
1690, sorry, there are so many, it's getting
It's
difficult.
okay, Judge. I understand.
1690, did I leave anything out?
No, ma'am.
That's the one with Ms. McCain as the victim, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, 24 CF 1828.
That would be also 5 years of probation concurrent.
On
no
each count.
contact with the victim, Nicholas Kirby.
Wonderful, okay, thank you. So on counts 1 and 2, 5 years probation on each count concurrent, and no contact with the victim, Nicholas Kirby,
Yes, ma'am.
and restitution to Nicholas Kirby in the amount of $784.55, minimum monthly payment of $25, $515 court costs, $100 cost of defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Did I cover everything? Okay. Did I leave anything out from your point of view, from either attorney's point of view on 24-1828? Okay, next is
1829.
1829, thank you. And on that one,
5 years of probation concurrent, no contact with the victim, Daniel Bowers.
yes, thank you so much. Adjudication of guilt. And 5 years probation on each count concurrent, no contact with Daniel Bowers, and restitution to Daniel Bowers in the amount of $800 with minimum monthly payments of $25 per month, and $515 court cost, $100 cost of defense. Did I cover everything on 1829?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I cover everything? Okay. Next is 24 CF 1837.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the home two suites case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that one would have a sentence of 5 years probation on each count, concurrent. And no trespassing at home two suites, 14060 Emerald Coast Parkway, Destin, Florida. Restitution to home two suites in the amount of $3,070, and is that 42 cents?
It might be 92. I think it's 92, Judge.
92 cents?
92 cents, yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, 92 cents, with minimum monthly payments of $75 per month and $515 court cost, $100 cost of defense. Did I cover everything in 24-1837?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is 24 CF 1885. Is this the Island Water Sports case?
Yes, Your Honor, there's just no trespassing there. There is no restitution.
Okay, so on each, in 1885, count 2 is adjudication of guilt, credit for all time served. That's a misdemeanor. Count 1, adjudication of guilt, 5 years probation, concurrent with all the other cases. No trespassing at Island Water Sports, 1318 Miracle Strip Parkway, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. $515 in court cost, $100 cost of defense. Okay, thank you. Then the next case is 24 CF 2160. Is this the O'Reilly's case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In 2160, there will be an adjudication of guilt and 5 years probation on each count, concurrent with each other in all other cases. And you are required to pay restitution to O'Reilly's Auto Parts in the amount of $1,650.98, minimum monthly payments of $50 per month, no trespassing at any O'Reilly's Auto Parts store, $515 court cost, $100 cost of defense. Did I cover everything in 2160? Next, 24 CF 2161. Is this the Ships Chandler case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in that case, adjudication of guilt, 5 years probation on all 3 counts, concurrent. No trespassing at the Ships Chandler, 646 Harbor Boulevard, Destin, Florida. Restitution to the Ships Chandler at that same address in the amount of $1,718.35, minimum monthly payments of $50 per month, $515 court costs, $100 cost of defense. Did I cover everything in 24-2161?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Next is 24 CF 2859. This is, the victim is Jessica Cease in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as to all 3 counts, adjudication of guilt, 5 years probation, concurrent, no contact with Jessica Cease, S-E-A-S-E, restitution to Jessica Cease in the amount of $694.10 with minimum monthly payments of $25 per month, $515 court costs, $100 cost of defense. Did I cover everything in 24 CF 2859?
Yes, Judge.
24 CF 2860. There will be an adjudication of guilt, 5 years probation on each count, concurrent. No contact with the victim, Andrea Barnes. Restitution to Andrea Barnes in the amount of $302.64 with minimum monthly payments of $25 per month. $515 court costs, $100 cost of defense. Did I leave anything out on that case?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next is 25 CF 77. And there will be an adjudication of guilt on both counts, 5 years probation on each count, concurrent, and $515 court cost, $100 cost of defense. Is this the case with no contact with the victim, Beth Parsons?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that condition is imposed as well. No restitution, though, in this case, correct? Okay, did I leave out any of the terms or conditions in 25 CF 77?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and 25 CF 417, there's an adjudication of guilt, 5 years probation, concurrent with all the other cases and counts.
Actually, we addressed
Is that one?
417 at the onset, Judge. That's the controlled
that
substance
one's-
charge, just time served.
Time served, so sorry. All right, that one is time served. Did I already impose the costs on that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I've already pronounced sentence on 25 417.
Yes, ma'am.
Did I leave any of the cases out?
Did you do 25 CF 77? That would be the only one I believe.
25 CF 77,
That was the last one, victim is Beth Parsons.
that's the
And
one,
that's
no,
5 years probation concurrent.
yes, on both counts, no contact with the victim, Beth Parsons, $515 court cost, $100 cost of defense, concurrent. Okay, did I leave any cases out?
No.
Any details?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Harper, did I cover it all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right, sir. You need to, well, is this the only thing holding you in jail, all these cases?
No, he's got, for probation's awareness, he does have a hold out of Santa Rosa County. I think those are some worthless checks. And he anticipates me sending over there. He's got a plea offer already. That should be resolved fairly shortly, just so probation's aware.
Okay, so as soon as you get out of custody, whether it's here or if you get sent to Santa Rosa, you'll be in custody there. As soon as you get out, you need to report immediately to probation. So if you get out of Santa Rosa or wherever else that you have to go, if you get out in time to leave that facility and get to probation in Fort Walton, you go that day. If not, you show up on the very next business day
Yes, ma'am.
prior to 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Okay, so if you get out on a Friday, obviously you can't report on Saturday unless probation's open on a Saturday that I'm not aware of. Okay, you would report on Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
But if you get out and probation's open the next day, you get there, if it's too late to get there that day, you get there before 9 o'clock the next morning to report in.
Yes, ma'am.
You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in all of these cases. If you cannot afford a lawyer, I will appoint one for you. I encourage you to take probation very, very, very seriously. I know that you will, but you received a significant downward departure. If you have a violation of probation, it's likely going to be a violation in all the cases, but even if it isn't, you're likely to score prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's critical that you do everything probation tells you to do, check in when they want you to check in, and comply with all of their instructions, all the terms and conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Anything else I need to cover, Mr. Harper?
No, Judge, that's it.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge, that's all I have today.
Thank you. Okay, do you need okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break because we've been sitting here for quite a while, and then we will come back and pick up where we left off. All right? Thank you.
All rise, please.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Cyclone Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Man, I got this. Let's roll. Fight fire with fire. Take 1. Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us, because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa! Not cool, bro.
I'm Attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
We're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Patch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Man, I got this. Let's roll. Fight fire with fire, take one. Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us, because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa.
Not cool, bro. I'm Attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
We're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County.
Getting everybody to sign it, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think it's Subsection 2, it's with lights and sirens activated. It's the F3L. It's the one with, it's a level 3. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm just double checking to make sure the statute is correct.
Thank you.
I'll wait to make sure before I approach on the correct statute. I think it's the subsection number we're looking at.
Yes. With lights and sirens? That's 2, right?
Yeah, subsection
That's subsection 2.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Subsection 1 is a level 1. No, could I fix that?
No objection to the report sheet, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
That's a level 1.
All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down.
It's okay.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name, please.
Darnell Jones.
Thank you. In case 25 CF 461, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. That is a second-degree felony. And 1 count of fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer in an agency vehicle with lights and siren activated at high speed, which is also a second-degree felony. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about those charges and any possible defenses?
I have.
Have you discussed the plea agreement with your lawyer?
I have.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
I did.
Great. Is that your signature on the last page?
It is.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
I do.
You understand that you have the right to go to trial and make the state prove the allegations against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
All right. I do.
And you understand you're giving up that right?
I do.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
I am.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter the plea?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what is showing in the agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
I am.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, or any type of substance in the last 24 hours?
No.
I have a score sheet that shows 16 total sentence points. No objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there any DNA?
None, Your Honor.
I do find a sufficient factual basis based on my review of the arrest documents. Sir, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will likely subject you to deportation?
Yes.
It looks like you're pleading to a lesser included offense of fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, which is a third-degree felony. The statute number is 316.1935, subsection 2. How do you plead to that lesser included offense?
No contest.
I accept your plea. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. Does the state have an announcement on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, the state will be dismissing count 1 in exchange for a plea to count 2, the lesser included felony, and the victim does not wish to proceed on the aggravated battery.
Thank you. All right, sir, in accordance with your agreement, there will be an adjudication of guilt on that lesser included offense on count 2, and you will be placed on probation for 24 months. Is probation okay with waiving the cost of supervision? That's what this agreement says.
Yes.
Thank you. That'll save you about $40 a month that they've agreed to waive the cost of supervision. There will be $515 in court costs. Let me make sure.
It'll be $548.
$548 in court costs. $150 cost of defense. That includes the $50 application fee. There will be special terms and conditions of probation. You must successfully complete a basic driver improvement course. You must complete 100 hours of community service work at the rate of a minimum of 10 hours per month. Your driver's license will be revoked for a period of 12 months. You must maintain gainful employment or complete 2 job applications per week. Did I leave off any terms and conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one for you. Is this the only thing holding you in jail?
Yes.
Okay, then you should get out today. I'm not sure what time you'll be transported back to the jail to be processed out. If you get out by 3 o'clock today, you need to report to probation today. Okay, they're open till 5. You need to go straight from the jail to probation, Fort Walton. If you get out too late to make it, so after 3 o'clock, I'm giving you some time in there, like a grace period to get there. If you cannot make it there today by 5, if you get out too late, you need to be there before 9 o'clock in the morning at probation.
Okay.
Okay? So 3 o'clock is your cutoff for reporting today versus tomorrow morning. All right? Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
And that's all I have before the court, if I may be excused.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Gates.
Your Honor, that's all I have as well. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Is he ready, Ross?
Do you want me to do mine?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a couple out of custody clients who are accepting pleas.
Okay,
We could call Julie Colbert first,
all right.
24 CF 2815.
All right, and Ms. Colbert is present.
Yes, and sorry, I have the score sheet here. I'm just making sure everyone signed it. All right.
Sure.
Your Honor, if I may approach?
Yes. Thank you. All right, ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do. Thank you, ma'am. Could you please state your name? All right, thank you. In case 24 CF 2815, you're charged with 1 count of burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. That is a second-degree felony. And 1 count of dealing in stolen property by trafficking, which is also a second-degree felony. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about those charges and any possible defenses? Have you read and signed the plea agreement? Is that your signature on the back page? And I'll be happy to have court security bring it. It is? Okay, you can see it? Okay. Thank you. Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea? Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily? Is anyone forcing you or threatening you to make you enter the plea? Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement? Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer? Did she answer all of your questions? Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, or any substance in the last 24 hours? I have a score sheet that shows 25.6 total sentence points. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Any DNA?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right. I do find a sufficient factual basis based on my review of the arrest report. Ma'am, do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, the plea will likely subject you to deportation? It looks like you're pleading to 2 lesser included offenses. As to count one, it looks like you're pleading to burglary of an unoccupied structure, which is a third-degree felony, and that statute number is 810.04, subsection 4A. And then as to count two, it looks like you're pleading to the lesser included offense of grand theft from a dwelling over $750, and that statute number is 812.014, subsection 2D2. How do you plead to those two lesser included offenses?
No contest.
I accept your plea. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. In accordance with your agreement, adjudication of guilt is withheld on both of those counts, and you will be placed on probation for a period of 2 years on each count concurrent. The costs are $515 in court costs. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. $150 cost of defense. That includes the $50 application fee. There are some special terms and conditions. You are required to pay $1,700 in restitution to Christina Hatcher. Did the state discuss this agreement with the victim?
This was, I can check my notes, this was dealt before I hopped on the case.
Yes, Ms. Gaynor was the ASA on that case. We conducted depositions and we discussed the resolution with the alleged victim at that time.
And that is what I have for my notes as far as restitution.
Okay.
It is, there are felonies. I don't remember the agreement being signed.
Yeah, it was signed before.
Yeah.
At the last court date.
I want to put a minimum payment.
It is on there. It is. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I figured y'all had discussed it with the victim, but I just want to ask and get it on the record.
Yes, Your Honor, I did speak with the victim. Mr. Frost just recently took over this case, but I did go over this agreement with her in these terms, and she was fine with that.
Thank you. So no contact with Christina Hatcher. I already mentioned the total amount of the restitution. There is an $85 per month minimum monthly payment towards that restitution to Miss Christina Hatcher. You are to have no trespassing at 124 Miracle Strip Parkway, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, 32548. You must successfully complete an anti-theft class. Did I leave out anything? I've got...
Oh, Your Honor, if we could, I didn't put it in there, but if probation would be okay with it, if we could waive the cost of probation, then that money could go towards the restitution.
Okay, probation's okay with that. Let me write down waive cost of supervision as long as you're making that monthly payment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I put on here waive cost of supervision as long as monthly restitution payment is made. So that way you can apply that $40 cost of supervision, you can put that towards the restitution. Okay? Ma'am, you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. Good luck. See probation before you leave the courtroom, and you will need to report. Mr. Prophet, does she need to report today? Okay, so you'll see Mr. Prophet before you leave the courtroom, and then you'll go from here to probation and report no later than 1 o'clock today, okay? Thank you.
No, we're doing it.
Okay. Your Honor, I just want to take care of my out of custody
Yes.
people who have been patient.
Yes.
If we could call Michaela Crandall, 22 CF 3015.
Yes, thank you.
She's present and approaching. Your Honor, the state filed an amended information in the last week or a couple weeks. So we had set the case today in the hopes that we would be able to resolve it. I think we're very, very close to a resolution. Unfortunately, I'm going to request that we put it back on the pretrial date. That gives us another couple weeks with the amended information, just to make sure that everything's ironed out and that Ms. Crandall is comfortable with the plea.
Okay. Any objection from the state to that?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, so the pretrial conference is June 9th at 9 o'clock, and the case will be tried this cycle or otherwise resolved. So
Yes,
it's
that's
going
the plan,
to,
Your Honor. It'll be plea or trial.
yes, plea or trial this cycle. So ma'am, stay in touch with your lawyer. Your next court date is June 9th at 9 o'clock. All right? Thank you. All right, Ms. Farkas, I'm looking to see, it looks like you might have another out of custody.
Yes, I have Alejandro Del Toro Ortega.
Okay. Case numbers 23 CF 2377, 24 CF 834, and 24 CF 1392.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he is
present and approaching. I have a plea agreement the state and the defense have signed, and Mr. Del Toro Ortega, as well as a score sheet, if I may approach.
Yes, great, thank you. Thank you so much.
Your Honor, in the three cases, there was previous adjudication of guilt in all of them. The kind of shortened version is the misdemeanor VOPs are just credit for time served. Counts 2 in docket ending 2377, count 1 in docket ending 834, and count 1 in docket ending 1392 are the felony VOP counts. He'll be receiving 90 days Okaloosa County Jail credit for all time served on those. So he's prepared to go into custody today. I believe that he has the time credit in the first two cases, but in the third case, he still has a little more time left.
Okay.
And all of this will revoke and terminate probation. Sorry.
Sir, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. If you'll just state your name, please.
Alejandro Del Toro.
Thank you. So, sir, in case 23 CF 2377, 24 CF 834, and 24 CF 1392, it's alleged that you have violated your probation in all of those cases. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you discussed the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature on the next to the last page?
Yes.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes.
You understand you have the right to go to a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations against you?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you're giving up your right to have that hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you or threatening you to make you enter a plea?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing in the agreement?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, or any substances in the last 24 hours?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she answer all of your questions?
Yes.
I have a score sheet that shows 35.8 total sentence points. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, do you admit the allegations that you violated your probation in all three of the cases?
Yes.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily given. As to 23 CF 2377, count 1 and count 3 will be a sentence of credit for time served. Probation will be revoked and terminated. As to count 2, you will be sentenced to 90 days in the Okaloosa County Jail for credit, with credit for all time served. All of those counts are running concurrent, and all the cases are running concurrent. Probation is revoked and terminated as to all of the counts in all of the cases. There is an adjudication of guilt previously So obviously that will remain in effect. And on 23 CF 2377, $100 cost of prosecution. I don't see the application fee, so I will, which case are you?
Typically the lowest case number.
Okay, I'll add the,
I apologize.
oh, no problem, the $50 application fee on that case. So $50 cost of defense application fee and $100 cost of defense fee. That's in addition to any previously imposed financial obligations. As to 24 CF 834, previous adjudication of guilt on both counts, that will remain. Probation is revoked and terminated as to both counts. As to count 1, that's the felony count, you'll be sentenced to 90 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served. This is concurrent to all the other counts and cases. $100 public defender fee, $100 cost of prosecution fee. Count 2 is credit for time served. Probation is revoked and terminated in both counts. It says in here 24 months to pay. Is that for all of the cases?
Yes, Your Honor, I
Okay.
was hoping so he'd have time to pay before it goes against his license.
All right, in all of the cases, sir, you'll have 24 months after you get out of jail to pay all of your outstanding fines, fees, court costs, whatever your financial obligations are. After that, if you haven't paid them all, they'll go to collections, and that will affect your driver's license. Did I leave anything out on 24 CF 834?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. 24 CF 1392, previous adjudication of guilt on both counts. Probation is revoked and terminated on both counts. As to count 1, 90 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for time served. That's concurrent to all the other counts and cases. There will be a $100 public defender fee, $100 cost of prosecution. As to count 2, credit for time served. So probation is revoked and terminated in all counts, all cases. All counts and cases are running concurrently to each other. 90 days Okaloosa County Jail on all of the felonies with credit for time served. And then all the misdemeanors, it's just time served. Okay, did I leave anything out?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, good luck to you, and you'll be taken into custody today, and the jail will figure out the credit.
Judge, next up will be Cole Slater.
Okay.
Marcus.
He's in custody, so I think they're getting him.
This is Slater Cole, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. He was returned from Florida State Hospital competent. We do have a plea agreement. I need to have him sign it, but.
Okay, and then I probably need to make a finding first.
Yes, Your Honor, that's.
Okay. Case numbers 24 CF 382 and 24 CF 403.
Your Honor, I'll just need a second to have him sign the agreement.
Sure.
Of course. Okay, Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so good afternoon, or good morning, rather, Mr. Slater, or Mr. Cole, rather.
Morning,
Yes, yes. I'm Judge Clark, and you're here on case 24 CF 382 and 24 CF 403. And you've been returned to us from the hospital. And let me ask the attorneys, are you stipulating that I can rely on the report from Dr. Jennifer Corbin? It's dated April 17th, 2025.
Yes.
State stipulates.
The defense stipulates.
Okay, I have reviewed that report, and in that report, Dr. Corbin found that Mr. Cole had been restored to competency and that he was competent to proceed with these cases. And the court will make a finding that Mr. Cole is competent to proceed.
Thank you.
And I did prepare a draft order just in case I needed it.
Thank
I'll
you.
go ahead and get that taken care of. Okay. And there's the order of finding competent. So now that I've made the finding of competency, let me review the agreement.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So I'll be out this afternoon. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. No. 12-1. Okay. Oh, good.
All right, sir, if you will just raise your hand, I'll swear you in. Oh, as best you can. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. If you'll just state your name, please.
Slater Glen Cole.
Thank you, sir. In case 24 CF 382, you're charged with 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance. Those are third-degree felonies. 1 count of driving while license revoked, habitual. That's a third-degree felony. 1 count of resisting an officer without violence. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. And 1 count of attaching a license plate not assigned. That is a second-degree misdemeanor. In 24 CF 403, you are charged with 1 count of battery by a person detained in prison or jail, and that is a third-degree felony. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about all of those charges in both cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you discussed the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your signature on the back page?
Yes, Miss
All right. Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have the right to go to trial on all of those charges and have the state prove that you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by entering the plea, you're giving up your right to have a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement?
No, Your Honor.
She's just.
Oh, yeah, no.
Do you understand what the plea agreement says?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I've also provided Mr. Cole a copy of the agreement. Thank you. Yes.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, yes.
Did she answer all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor, she did very well.
Is there anything I've said so far that you don't understand?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, please tell me if there's anything I say you don't understand, okay?
Okay.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, any type of substance in the last 24 hours that affects your ability to understand what's happening?
No, Your Honor.
I have a score sheet that shows 45.5 total sentence points. Any objections or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that shows the lowest permissible prison sentence is 13.125 months. It looks like the plea agreement is a very slight downward departure. Is that accurate?
That is correct, based off a uncoerced negotiation.
Okay, thank you. I do find a sufficient factual basis based on my review of the arrest reports. Sir, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea could subject you to deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and is there any DNA in either case?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And sir, how do you plead to counts 1 through 5 in 24 CF 382?
No contest.
All right, and what about, how do you plead to count 1 in 24 CF 403?
No contest.
I accept your plea as to all counts in both cases. I find that it was freely and voluntarily and knowingly entered. There will be an adjudication of guilt as to all of the charges in both cases. In 24 CF 382, on counts 1, 2, and 3, those are the felony counts, you will be sentenced to 12 months and 1 day in state prison, Department of Corrections, with credit for all time served. All of those counts are concurrent. In fact, all counts in both cases are concurrent with each other. The state apparently is stipulating that all time has already been served and that you are eligible for immediate release, correct?
That is correct. He was in county before he went to the state hospital. He's back now. It's well over the 12-1.
Okay. And there will be $615 in court costs. Is that right?
That would be correct for the 382 case?
Oh, yep, I got it wrong for the 403 case, I'm sorry.
Okay, so on the 382 case, $615 in court cost, $150 cost of defense. That includes the $50 application fee. You have 24 months to pay those costs and fees before they go to collections. This is after you're released. As to counts 4 and 5, the sentence on those two counts, those are the misdemeanors, credit for time served. So adjudication of guilt on all counts, the prison sentence I announced on the felony counts, and credit for time served on the misdemeanor counts, everything is concurrent. Did I leave anything out on 24 CF 382?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. 24 CF 403, there will be an adjudication of guilt, sentence of 12 months and 1 day, Department of Corrections, with credit for all time served. This is concurrent with the other case in all counts. And the state stipulates that all time has already been served and that the defendant is eligible for immediate release. And what are the court costs on that case?
That one would be $967.
$967.
I apologize, Your Honor.
No
Automatic
problem.
pilot.
$967 in court costs, $100 cost of defense, and you have 24 months to pay all of the financial obligations before they go to collections. Did I leave anything out on 24 CF 403?
No, Your Honor, and I made that edit to the copy of the plea agreement that I provided Mr. Cole.
Thank you.
We should be good.
All right, sir, good luck to you. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir.
Good job, Mr. Cole.
I appreciate you representing.
No problem.
Lamar gave us the update.
All right.
Your Honor, I have a plea agreement that the state and defense attorney have already signed. I'm just having Mr. Davis sign it.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
No problem.
If I may approach.
Yes. Thank you. All right, sir, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down if you'll just state your name, please.
Good morning, Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. You're here in case 24 CF 2734. It's alleged that you have violated your probation in that case. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature on the back page?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she answer all of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on any medication, substance, drugs, alcohol, anything like that?
No, ma'am.
Do you admit to the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily given. I do have a score sheet that shows 24 total sentence points. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, it looks like there was a previous adjudication of guilt on the underlying charges. That will remain. And probation will be revoked and terminated. And you will be sentenced on count 1 to 120 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for time served. And there will be a $150 cost of defense because that includes the $50 application fee and $100 cost of prosecution. You have 24 months to pay those costs and fees after you are released, or else they'll go to collections. As to count 2, you are sentenced to time served. So probation is revoked and terminated, 120 days in the county jail on count 1 with credit for time served. Count 2 is credit for time served. I discussed the costs. Any other terms or conditions I've left out?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Preston Davis is up next.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Preston Davis,
Okay.
23 CF 199. And then he has 2 new law cases. I'll just put the cases on the record just to be sure. 25 CF 524 and 25 CF 522. I have been in contact with ASA Basso about these cases. She is in trial this week. So she is reviewing some of the information that I provided her, speaking with Mr. Davis's probation officer. Ms. Basso requested a short continuance. I'm not sure if there are any court dates available next week or.
I'm in trial
The week
for the
after?
next 2
Oh,
weeks,
of
civil.
course. Yeah.
And
Forgot
I
about that part.
actually have multiple cases that are
Okay.
going, so.
Okay, so I guess then if we put everything on the June 11th pretrial conference date, then that will give Ms. Basso and I time to hopefully iron out a resolution.
Okay. So June 11th at 9 o'clock for pretrial conference on all 3 cases, 23 CF 199, 25 CF 522, and 25 CF 524. All right.
Thank you, Your
sir.
Honor.
Right this way, sir. Carl Edwards is up next.
Your Honor, Carl Edwards. 2010 CF 871. Your Honor, we had continued the case last month to get medical records that I believe are potentially dispositive in this VOP. I just received them on Friday, so I haven't even had time to look at them. I let Ms. Basso know, and she let me know that she wouldn't be objecting to a 1-month continuance so that I can review those records and we can work out a resolution.
Okay.
I am potentially going to set this for an evidentiary hearing. I'll speak with the state attorney, but if that is the case, then my office will do that this week. We'll get
Okay.
that scheduled ASAP.
All right. I'm just looking at something in the file.
I'm sorry, I couldn't remember if this was the VOP arraignment or if it had been up before without our office assigned, so I just figured I'd put the denial on, just in case.
It was on the 22nd.
You were probably assigned that day.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
So June 17th
Thank you.
at 9 o'clock. All right, thank you.
And that's not going to be the hearing date, correct?
Right, that's just a status, and then if you, well, as soon as you find out and that you're going to need a hearing, go ahead and get it set so that we don't wait around until, not that you would, but
no,
that way we can keep things moving.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor.
Joshua Flippins next.
Okay.
Right this way.
Your Honor, next up is Joshua Flippin. He's got 2 cases, 23 CF 2412 and 23 CF 2414. The state and the defense have reached an agreement. I'm going to have Mr. Flippin sign it now.
Okay. Also, just so, in case this isn't already in the agreement, you may want to discuss, Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office has requested $127.95 reimbursement for transportation.
Never lived anywhere else that does that. And $27?
$127.95. Okay. They put a request in the court file.
Approach.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, sir, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do. Thank you. You can put your hand down. If you'll state your name, please.
Joshua Flippins.
Thank you. And in case 23 CF 2412 and 23 CF 2414, it's alleged that you have violated your probation. Have you had a chance to talk to your lawyer about the allegations that you violated your probation in both of those cases? All right. Did you discuss the plea agreement with your lawyer? Did you read and sign the agreement? Is this your signature on the last page? Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea? Do you understand that you have the right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations that you violated your probation? Do you understand you're giving up that right? Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter the plea? Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyer about your decision to enter a plea today? Are you satisfied with her services? I have a score sheet that shows 64.8 total sentence points. Any objections?
There we are.
All right, it shows a lowest permissible prison sentence of 27.6 months. Sir, are you admitting to the violation of your probation in case numbers 24 CF 2412 and 2414? I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily given. In accordance with your agreement, on each count in each of those cases, probation is revoked and terminated. There's previously an adjudication of guilt. You are sentenced to the guideline sentence of 27.6 months in state prison. Those cases will run concurrent with each other, and you will receive credit for all time served. There will be a $150 cost of defense fee in 23 CF 2412. That includes the application fee of $50 and a $100 cost of prosecution fee, plus the $127.95 reimbursement to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office for transportation. You will have 24 months to pay all of your financial obligations after you're released from prison. After that, it'll go to a lien and it will affect your driver's license. In 23 CF 2414, probation is revoked and terminated. 27.6 months Department of Corrections, state prison, in accordance with the guidelines and your agreement. You will receive credit for all time served. The sentence will be concurrent to the other case. There is a $100 public defender fee and a $100 cost of prosecution fee, and you will also have 24 months to pay all outstanding financial obligations in that case before they go to collections. Did I leave off anything?
No, Judge?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so it looks like in both cases, there is a VOP warrant outstanding, and then in the 2414 case, there is a bond revocation outstanding.
I will vacate all of those since he has entered a plea and we're revoking and terminating probation.
And
So
I believe that he had a case in Washington County, Florida. That case closed, and he started being held on these cases at the beginning of April. So I guess the warrant was served somehow, so.
I'm not sure, but whatever, there are still
Just
some
wanna make sure.
outstanding.
Okay.
Judge Stone at the last court date said that there was an issue that
Yes.
the court is aware, or at least the chief judge was aware, that there are things getting served, but the system isn't caught up with it.
Okay. So if there are any warrants out there that have not been served for a violation of probation in either of these two cases, or bond revocation in either of these two cases, if they haven't been served on you already, sir, I'm vacating them. because you've just resolved your probation. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. If you can't afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one. Thank you.
It's going to be Michael Ross, Steve Medina.
Your Honor, Steve Medina with Michael D. Ross Jr. in 22 CF 2558. He is signing a plea VOP agreement that we've been over, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sign. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes,
We
thank
have
you.
the agreement in the score sheet, and we don't request
you.
it in the score sheet.
All right.
And through the terms of the agreement, Mr. Michael D. Ross Jr. will be admitting the VOP in 22 CF 2558. He was previously adjudicated guilty. It's going to be a reinstate and modify to add 24 months of concurrent probation to his existing term of probation. I believe his existing probation goes on for quite a while. This is going to add 24 months to his existing term. And he is going to be required to enter and successfully complete Phoenix House. And this is pretty unusual, but he's going to have to repeat Phoenix House. It's pretty rare that Phoenix House suggests that somebody come back, but they were willing to take him back. But he does have to start over completely. His prior entry and completion of Phoenix House does not count toward this requirement. And this is bars to bed. Would be $100 VOP fee, $150 public defender fees, complete existing obligations, and I believe that this is a legitimate uncoerced plea bargain, Your Honor.
And that's the state's agreement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Snell, will you please make your appearance on the record since you're not normally my division?
Yes, David Snell on behalf of the state in 2022 CF 2258.
Thank you. That way our record's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ross, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down, and if you'll just state your name for me, please.
Michael David Ross.
Okay, are you Michael Ross Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sir, in case 22 CF 2558, it's alleged that you have violated your probation. Have you had that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Have you had a chance to discuss with your lawyer any possible defenses you might have?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Have you discussed the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and sign the plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature on the second page?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you have the right to have a contested hearing and make the state prove the allegations?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you're giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to make you enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing on the agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any substances, drugs, alcohol, medication, or any type of substance?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Did he answer all of your questions?
He did, yes, ma'am.
I have a score sheet that shows 63 total sentence points, which indicates the lowest permissible prison sentence is 26.25 months. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objection from the state.
And Your Honor, it technically isn't a downward departure because it's a reinstate and modify. I misstated on that, but
Okay.
it is a, we knew the court wanted to see the score sheet. Thank you.
Yes. So there must have been a downward departure the first time around, or when there was an original plea entered.
I can't remember, Your Honor. It was handled by RCC, so I don't know if I looked into that.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, it probably,
It was. He was placed on 3 years of probation, I believe.
gotcha. Thank you. All right, sir. Do you admit to the allegations that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission. I find it was freely and voluntarily given. There's been a previous adjudication of guilt. Looks like we're only dealing with counts 1 and 5 in this
Yeah.
case.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I am, in accordance with your agreement, reinstating and modifying your probation to add 24 months as to each count concurrent. And that's added to your existing term. And you must enter and successfully complete the Phoenix House program. That's bars to bed, meaning you'll remain in jail until Phoenix House comes and gets you. And this is a repeat of Phoenix House. Your prior completion of Phoenix House does not count. You have to do it again.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and as far as the financial obligations, there is a $150 cost of defense fee. That includes the application fee, a $100 VOP cost of prosecution fee. You must still complete the existing or previously ordered obligations or terms and conditions of probation. Did I leave anything out?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And I would like to set a follow-up court date because I want to make sure that Phoenix House comes and gets you and that you don't languish in the jail for months.
Yes,
So that has happened a few times.
So that'll just be a status
Correct.
conference.
Correct. I would like to set that for what would be a reasonable time. Mr. Medina, you probably know Phoenix House's availability better than I do.
Yeah, it really is hard to tell, Judge, but let's be optimistic and set it in roughly a month, but that's by no means guaranteed. Their
Right.
paperwork says they don't guarantee anything on that.
Right.
And I do want there to not be any misunderstanding in this type of situation, that the defendant does not need to be here for that status conference. We don't want him kept on the jail.
Oh, that's a good
I
point.
am afraid the jail might misunderstand if he has a status conference in a month. I don't want them to not think, in probation, to think he's supposed to go. So I don't know how to avoid that appearance, other than maybe we can put something on the record that the defendant need not appear or something. I don't know.
I can notate that the defendant's appearance is waived on that date, but beyond that.
Yeah.
would be-
Right.
And-
And probation knows our intent is that he go to Phoenix House. I don't want that.
The only reason I'm setting this
Yeah.
court date is if Mr. Ross is still in jail and hasn't gone to Phoenix House. And if he's already gone to Phoenix House, there's no need for the court date.
Of course, Judge, it's just,
Yeah.
there obviously ways that things can be misunderstood, so I just wanted to try to.
Well, Mr. Medina, if you're aware of any
Yeah,
problem,
yes,
I don't
yeah.
want to hold him up from
Yeah,
going to Phoenix House.
yeah.
I'm just trying to avoid a situation where, some cases,
Oh,
there's been
absolutely,
a delay,
Judge.
and I want to stay on top of it.
Yes, Judge, so would that be roughly a month out?
June 17th at
Thank you,
9.
Judge.
Now, Mr. Ross, there's no guarantee that Phoenix House is going to come get you by then.
Yes, ma'am.
It depends on their availability.
Thank you so much.
All
Ma'am.
I'm doing is just making sure you don't fall through the cracks and get forgotten about by
Thank
Phoenix
you very
House.
much. Thank
Sure.
you very much.
So if you're already at Phoenix House,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Medina, please look at the docket and notify people that we need to cancel that status if he's already gone.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll check.
Okay, the only reason you need to come back is, well, you don't even need to be here that day. It's for us to make sure that you get to Phoenix House.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so defendant is not required to be present. Mr. Medina, please cancel if he's already gone to Phoenix House by then.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck.
30 days to appeal. If you can't afford a lawyer, I'll appoint one for you. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep, register.
Okay, so I'm deferring to court security about breaking for lunch. Are we?
We can break for lunch now and then continue with other stuff.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Are we breaking for lunch now? Is that?
I believe that was.
Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do, I know, Mr. Medina, you have a few cases left on the docket.
Oh, that's fine, Your Honor. Whatever the court's pleasure is, I'm available.
It is 12:37. We're going to take an hour lunch break. And Mr. Medina, that if you need to talk to any of your clients, that'll give you some time because I have another hearing I need to take up right when we return for lunch, and then
Yes,
I'll
yes.
continue with yours.
Could I ask one question
Sure.
of the court on the approach? It's
Sure.
not related to counsel.